first place.
That beautiful time of night that Dave was talking about has just hit us, hasn't it? The temperature's down into the low 20s as we get towards one of the great highlights of the championships, the women's 1500 metres. It is a fantastic field. The fastest 4 Australians of all time are running in this final.
Yep, and the 4 qualifiers for the World Championships as well. So we've only got 3 spots. Don't have a wild card just yet. Jess, of course, was sensational in Paris to win the silver medal, but they are fast. We've got Lyndon Hall, of course, the first ever to break the 4-minute barrier. But the national record holder holds the Australian champion as well. Billings, a rising star. Griffiths, an evergreen, if you can say that about a 28-year-old, but she's in the form of her life, and she's on the inside third from the right in the pink. Lyndon Hall right on the inside. This is a fascinating race, Bruce. Hull is so impressive in the heat. She just controls the race. She rarely runs a bad tactical race. Always seems to be in the right spot, but she's flown back from Jamaica. Grand Slam.
Had a big personal best, didn't she, in the 800?
She's in great form.
And then ran very well at the World Indoors, didn't she, in the 3,000 metres, where she got the bronze medal.
Billings in the middle, who in the yellow, hip number 6, 27 years of age, has had some injury problems over the last few years. Sparkling junior career, so she's in the mix. This is one of the races, Bruce, where it's not the selection trial. This is not a World Championship trial, but the criteria says if you've got a qualifier, Hull from being a top 5 in Paris has virtually secured a spot, but the top 2 here, I think, like in the men's last year in the 1500, and we'll get to that in the next race with Cam Myers, who didn't run a great race at the Nationals. It cost him a spot at the Olympic Games. Here, I think the top 2 will be on their way to the World Championships in Tokyo.
I agree with you. It's a real race, isn't it? And we've got 4. And anybody that finishes 3rd or 4th will know that. And we've also got Hollingsworth and Caldwell who could target this.
Get another spot. And they've decided to run the 800 only here. So the other interesting point you made just before we came back from the break, Bruce, is what pace do they run? And I think the fact that it's got World Championship selection on the line might influence that. We know that Jess likes to go to the front. She holds the championship record from last year at 4:01:39, so she's not scared to run fast. Griffiths, they're all in shape, and Lyndon won't mind that as well, but she won't want to lead, no, I don't think.
Hull's going to be aggressive. That's her way now. She's going to be aggressive. She's going to either be leading, or if she's not leading, it's because the pace is so fast she doesn't have to lead. She wants it to be a hard race. She's got that 3,000 metres behind her. Griffith, of course, is so good at, she's a 1,000 metre and 3,000 metre record holder, isn't she, in Australia?
And of course had that great World Indoor 1500 where she just missed a medal. So,
incredible run, wasn't it?
Yep. And she's got a big heart too. They all do. You don't run as fast as they do over 3 3/4 laps unless you don't mind a bit of pain.
Women's 1500 metre final, the 4 fastest Australians of all time are there, and Jess actually missed the start in a racing parlance. She went back and she was quite happy to do that. So that's the first slight surprise in the first 100 metres. Hall pushing up on the inside, and Hull 4 from the back at the moment. Billings up into 3rd place, and Georgia Griffith in the middle of the field at the back.
And you can get rid of that bit of paper that's got the 4:02 times on it, Bruce, because they are strolling at the moment.
And that's a surprise.
Yeah, it is a surprise. I wonder if that was influenced by the fact that Jess didn't quite begin, maybe as she wanted, maybe she was happy just to sit back there. We do know that she likes to be in clean running. As you can see, she's about 5 back on the outside, a good spot to be. It's a bit congested, but they are strolling as they come down through the first 300 metres.
So some of the outsiders, so to speak, Madden, Des and Whincup up the front at the moment. Billings the first of the favourites. Then behind her, Hancock Cameron, and then Griffith and Hull and Hall. So this is a big surprise. They're dawdling for this class of athlete. Remember that the 4 fastest we've ever had are out there. So this first split is oh so slow here. They're running at about 4:30 pace. So they are going oh so slowly. And now Georgia Griffith starts to make a bit of a move on the back of Georgia Whincup, and Jess Hull now for the first time starts to assert herself as well. So it's Whincup leading from Griffith. Inside Des, who had a personal best in the heat. Outside of her, Hull. Behind her, the 6 Billings, and then the 1 Hall, the 3-time Olympian, and then behind her 11 Hancock Cameron, and then behind her the 8 Madden. So that's the scene here as they enter the straight, and it's still pretty slow.
Well, if it was going to be fast, it was fascinating. It's even more fascinating when it's slow, because how long do they hold their nerve for here? You can see Jess was moving up. She wanted to be in a good position. Lyndon did a really good job as they went down the back straight, as she saw that the pace just increased a fraction, so she got out of the pocket. We go back to Billings is on the inside there.
So through with 800 to go. And the thing for Hull that's going to give her some confidence, Dave, is that 158 in Jamaica off a slower speed. That she got inside 2 minutes last year before the Olympics. I think it made a big difference to her confidence. And then, of course, we know what happened after that. So Win Cup leading here. She's been a good steeplechaser. Her personal best is 4:11. So, you know, she's going to be struggling to keep up when the pressure comes on, we know, but she's making the running, and that's the right thing for her to do at this pace. Griffith in a good spot. Hull on the back of Griffith. Griffith was on the back of Hull, wasn't she, in the heat? Billings in the mix. Hall's got Hull in her sights. They've been together for so long now, haven't they?
Yeah, and Lyndon will be just trying to stick there for as long as she possibly can. Someone's going to have to make a move here as Georgia gets to the front. A little bit of elbowing, little argy-bargy as they came around the top turn.
So the big four, Dave, the big four across the track here, the four fastest Australians of all time. And Hull now at the bell makes the move. So it's Hull, Griffith and Hall, and then Billings moves up into fourth place. 1 lap to go in the final of the 1500, and the Olympic silver medalist makes the run, the long run for home.
Well, it is a long run for home. If you're going to go, you go hard, and that's what she's done here. She hasn't been able to burn them all off, though. So as they go down the back straight, beautiful form for all of them. But this is going to be a long drag with 250 to go for the national title.
Georgia will think she can run Jess down here, and Sarah gives herself a chance, and Lyndon's off the back. 200 to go. Hull leads by a stride and a half from Griffith and a stride and a half from Billings. 150 to go. The Olympic silver medalist. Now Billings gets up to Griffith. Hull, she can look at them and see that Billings is about a stride behind her. 80 to go. Hull stretching, not away from Billings though. Billings almost getting to her shoulder. Hull though is clear. She's a metre in front, and Jess is hanging on. Sarah's not going to get her, and Jess Hull wins again. Another national championship. Billings was magnificent, and then Griffith and the gap then to Hall. What a last lap that was. Fantastic running. It was 57 low the last lap.
What a great race. And it's been one of the hallmarks for the last 2 or 3 seasons of our middle distance athletes in the men and the women, but particularly in the women. They front up and race each other every time there's a meet. There's a gun goes off and they're on the start line. And what a dash it was from Jess Hull. She went about 430 metres from the finish. She had to hang on. I thought Billings was a big chance for a moment. Georgia hung on as best she could. But what a run from Jess. But Sarah Billings is the one that's taken my fancy there. Courageous. Great to see her back at that level. We know what Jess is capable of, and that's what it means to both of them.
And we talked about how important first and second was in this race, and it was clear cut at the end, and then Georgia third, and then Lyndon in fourth place. But Jess, that speed that she's acquired over the last couple of years, inside 2 minutes for the first time last year, and then well inside 159 this year. So it was Hull, Billings, Griffith and Hall, 1, 2, 3, 4. And Hancock Cameron's had a good last lap. She wasn't far away. And Des has a terrific run as well. Wonderful, wonderful running. A fantastic final. Not one we expected, Dave, in terms of the way it played out, but a thrilling race.
Well, she would have run a lot faster if she hadn't missed the jump. She was like Chautauqua. Didn't come out of the gates.
I think we might be able to go down to Nathan.
I'll be interested to know whether that was on purpose or not. But let's go down to Nathan Breen, who's with Jess Hull. What a race.
It was an incredible race, and Jess, a couple of things. Firstly, was it deliberate to get off a bit conservative? Did it surprise you? Because we thought you were going to take it out home.
Hey, that's why I did that, because I can't become too predictable. So, yeah, I think I ran a race in Jamaica a few days ago. Don't really know, time zones are all a bit of a blur, but I didn't trust my speed. And tonight the big thing was just trust your speed, and it was so unnerving in that pack. I could feel the tension, but I just backed myself, yeah.
It must be hard knowing that someone has to go, but it's not a matter of if but when. But talk to us about 158, 800 speeds there must give you confidence this early in the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we haven't even done anything super specific to bring that on. It's just, I'm 28, I'm a strong woman, I've had a lot of years behind me, and I'm now learning I can really trust my speed, which is, it's really fun.
And Georgia, talk to us about Georgia Griffith and Billings as well, because there was a lot of people who thought Billings was going to draw level in the final 100 metres. Did you feel her there? Did you feel the pressure on? You stayed relaxed.
No, it was funny. I actually said something out loud with like 90 to go, of like, okay, again, because I could feel them there. And that was really cool. It's fun to race to the line like that. And yeah, it's just like the anticipation in the 10 women that are on the track is high. So I can only imagine what it feels like when you're watching kind of that excitement. So yeah, very fun.
Yeah, well, you've added a lot to this meet. This is the first time I've seen you in Australia. There's some of the Olympic silver medalists. It's you, it's Kaut, everyone playing a big role here in lifting up Australian athletics. Thank you very much, and all the best for what's a big season ahead.
Yeah, thank you. It was really special to be introduced as the Olympic silver medalist for the first time at home. So yeah, thanks for coming out, everybody.
Thank you, Jess. Appreciate it.
So delightful, isn't she? And this was when, just after she said to herself, I've got to go again, and Sarah did get within half a stride at one stage, and Hull so strong at the end. Billings was outstanding, and Griffith was not far behind them, as you saw. And then a gap to Lyndon Hall in fourth place.
It was a great race. There were a lot of permutations, particularly off that slow pace, and now we move